Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing a 2022 Chevy Equinox with the LT package. Now before we get in the video, I do want to mention that if you want to see driving impressions on the new Equinox, just type in Ben Hardy Equinox. I do have a review up already where I'm driving the car. In today's video, we're just going to do a walk around and focus on the features with the LT package. And then on a side note, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Chevy here in Provo for giving me some time with this Equinox. Check out the inventory in the description down below. This one is available for sale right now. And then on a third side note actually, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into this video. So under the hood, we have a turbocharged 1.5 liter 4-cylinder that goes to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 25 around town and then 30 on the highway, with power outputs being 170 horsepower and then 203 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the Equinox. So first off, you guys will notice that this one is of course silver, but we've got these distinctive body lines here on the hood, and the silver paint really helps them pop out quite a bit. We've got the daytime running light. Now that doesn't blink in real life, that's just because the frame rate of the camera. And then you guys can see the LED headlights themselves, their LED reflector lights, looks pretty cool. Got our turn signal actually down below with some parking sensors here on the front end. And then notice how the chrome trim with how it's stylized kind of matches the design there of the headlight area. We have our traditional Chevy bow tie there in the center. More chrome trim here at the bottom. And, well, there's the front end. Now coming on the side here, we've got two 25mm tires wrapped around 18-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then if we look at the design here on the wheels themselves, you can see you've got the silver there on the top, and then we have the metallic gray below that. Definitely leads to a really cool aesthetic and just kind of like flows. Just look at the overall shape. And then here's a quick look at the front suspension. Notice the molding here for the fender. We have our Equinox logo here on the side. And then notice with the mirror how it's two-tone. You got the silver on the top and then the plastic trim that's black down below. And that's pretty interesting. So the window trim's like chrome here at the bottom and then it's like black at the top. Kind of unique. But if we take a few steps back, here is the full side view on the Equinox. It's kind of interesting. It looks like, you think it would just like abruptly end there, but it still kind of like goes off. So it's kind of unique. So here's our key fob. We have our unlock function, lock function. We got the remote start and then the opening here for the hatch. Chevy bow tie there on the back in traditional format. When I say traditional format, it's the traditional coloring on it. And then popping here to the rear. So first off, we've got a 12-volt here in the back. And then you guys can see we've got these little controls right here to lower down the seat. So like if I pull this one, it'll throw that seat down. And then if we pick up this strap right here, you can see the storage space underneath. And we've got a flat loading floor, and this isn't a huge SUV, but storage space is actually pretty solid. It's relatively practical overall. And when you're done, you just gotta press that and it'll lower the hatch right back down. Now finishing things up with the rest of the rear, you can see here with the taillights. So these are the quote-unquote base taillights that come with the Equinox. Notice we got our all-wheel drive LT badge. We have the Equinox badge there on the other side. And then you can see we've got parking sensors here at the bottom. Then we've got another piece of chrome trim. And then notice how the exhaust tip isn't like out there and apparent. They're not trying to accentuate that. And they're trying to just like keep it clean with the rear end in terms of the design. Now here is the door panel on the rear. Notice we got the padding all along this side. You can see one of the window controls. And then here are the seats, which are super unique, that is for sure. So you've got this like two-tone cloth design, and then notice the stitching also kind of contrasts. And then look at the pattern here in the center. I love it. I think it looks great from an aesthetic perspective, but again, it's very unique. And then popping in, you guys can see legroom. Headroom as well. Notice we don't have like a storage pocket here, but we do over on the passenger side. Got some vents down below, got some USBs as well. And then we have our cup holder armrest situation here in the rear. And here's what the seat looks like while it's folded down. If you guys are wondering, it's pretty easy to get it up. You just gotta lift it up and put it into place. Let's head to the front. Now here's the front door panel. You can see again with all of the padding, you've got your door lock and unlock. And then here's a quick look at the mirrors. Notice the driver window is automatic. And then this is for the hatch, so you don't have to open it up all the way. Pretty cool. And then notice the front seat has the same design as the rear seat. So you got that two-tone cloth. Then you got the cool pattern here in the center of the seat. Power adjustments there on the side. Then here's the pedal layout down below. And then you can see here with the light control off to the side. And, well, let's pop in. Here's the steering wheel that comes with the Equinox. You got really nice trim all around the steering wheel. Radio controls here on the back of the steering wheel. And then you have some controls here for the center stack, voice command, phone control. Again, another traditional Chevy bow tie logo. And then you got your like lane departure, cruise control as well. And then notice we have our turn signal / light stock, windshield wiper stock here on the other side. And, well, there's the steering wheel. So here's a gauge cluster. It's mostly analog, but notice we have that screen there in the center, which you can scroll through to see different bits of info here on the Equinox itself. Pretty straightforward with that whole setup. And aside from that, there is a mode that we can go in and out of, and that is our drive line. So basically you can switch between all-wheel drive mode and not in all-wheel drive mode. Notice it say all-wheel drive mode is on, but then when I turn it off, it doesn't say anything. I'll show you guys the button in a little bit, but yeah, there you go. Now here's the center infotainment system. First off, if we pop it into reverse, you can see you've got a backup camera with trajectory lines. They do turn with the steering wheel. You can turn off the lines if you don't like them for some reason. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, first off, you've got these analog buttons here at the bottom that are kind of like shortcut buttons, like the home screen button, for example, that you can press. Response time with the screen is actually really solid. It does come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And aside from that, there you go. Now we can turn off the auto stop start if you want. You got the hazard lights. We've got our dual zone climate controls. We've got heated seats here at the front as well. And then we have a little bit of extra storage space here. And this is like our charging area is what we will describe it as. And then we got the parking sensors. And then this is the all-wheel drive thing. So if it's illuminated, all-wheel drive is on. If the light is not illuminated, then all-wheel drive is off. And then here is the shifter for that 6-speed automatic. And notice you have a low range there. Not a 2-speed transfer case, but basically just keeps it in a lower gear. Anyways, you can see a parking brake here. And then we've got a couple cup holders. And then you got some storage space there. And then you can see here with the padding on the center console. And this is actually really big. Wow. You usually don't expect that in an SUV this size. And we got a pretty normal glove box. And then there's more padding here on the dash for your passenger to rest their feet on, right? And then popping here to the very top, you can see with the mirror, it has a manual dimmer, and then we've got our sunglass holder, then lighter colored headliner. So here's a window sticker for this Equinox LT. Here's the standard equipment including the warranty information. So 3-year, 36,000 mile basic, 5-year, 60,000 mile on the powertrain, and then the rest of the standard equipment. And let me know if you guys want me to mention warranties more in this channel. Anyways, you can see the optional equipment on this particular one. And then notice after options and credits and everything, we've got a total MSRP of $32,050. And there you go. Now let's get some things up for our video on this 2022 Chevy Equinox in the LT package. I want you guys to let me know what you think about the new Equinox and what you think about the LT package. Is this the package that you would go for, or would you go for something a little bit more base like the LS, or something more loaded up like the Premier, for example? But anyways, again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Chevy here in Provo for giving me some time with this Equinox. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I will see all of you in that next video.